On this week's episode of A Beer and a Bet, Beeries touring Hong Kong, we talk all things Mitch beer racing and, of course, the upcoming runners and the famous staking plan. That and much, much more on this week's episode of A Beer and a Bet.
Hello and welcome to A Beer and a Bet Hong Kong edition. Beery's over there in HK. I'm here in the sunny Gold Coast. Where would you rather be,
Yeah,
Beery?
you're traveling big time.
Yeah,
Got a few snaps at the balcony. I thought I was doing well out here in Wan Chai, but you're killing it.
yeah, Broad Beach, place to be. Massima. How do we pronounce that again?
Mama
Massima.
San.
Mama San. Mama
Yeah,
San. Gee, I'm gonna get
one
that
of my
better. Want a
favorite
discount?
restaurants. One of my favorite restaurants in the world,
Oh,
Mama San.
it was very good. The KFC Mama San chicken last night into a bit of the red curry, green curry.
Look at you go.
I
You
didn't pay
think I'll
for
be
it.
the one? You think I'll be the one with the culinary reports back? But nah,
Well,
big
it's
big
easier.
G's got us covered.
Yeah, it's easy to order out when it's not your bill. How's Hong Kong?
Hey, it's great. Had Happy Valley last night. What an unreal race course, Happy Valley. It is just this absolute coliseum of like fun, and it's fast, and um, that's what racing needs to be. That's needs
Yeah,
to. I know we see a little bit of it with like Moonee Valley, but the what was going on there. I mean, there was DJs, there was bars, there was so many different. You could experience that race meeting so many different ways. Whether
yeah,
you wanted to be down in front of the DJ, whether you want to have a corporate box, and I think moving forward, our race courses need to get so much smaller. They need to be
yeah.
so much more condensed. What they were doing, there was people practicing soccer in the middle, and you've got the international meeting whizzing around. Like
Keep going on.
it's very unique, but I think it's a very, very good place to sit back and almost look at the races from the winning post back into the grandstand, and say, well, how do we achieve this, or how can we get close to this? Because that is how people want to enjoy the races. Short gaps between, fast, fun action, plenty of things happening in between races. The whole experience was unreal.
Well, if the training thing doesn't work out, we'll find you a COO role maybe at Racing New South Wales. You're on fire. Doing your best work there.
No, I can't really spell or write, but you nearly have an assistant, wouldn't you? If you got that sort of role, it'd be sweet.
Yeah, you'd be sweet. Right,
I'll tell
let's
you what,
fast.
though,
Yep.
it has got me back.
Oh
It's
yeah.
got me back last night because I've had the shits from the moment I left. I've actually realised how much I despise airports
Yeah.
and the carry on that people literally, pardon the pun, the carry on at airports is obscene. Everyone thinks they're like the main character of a film once they get to an airport. It is just putrid behaviour.
Yeah.
You've got people dressed up like they're doing Iron Man to get a 4-hour flight somewhere. The excessive active wear and Yeti bottles, and mate, it's absolutely obscene. That had me wild from the get go.
Yeah.
Then you got these fake custom officers, the mall cops of immigration that aerosols, laptops, who are they're just animals, right? They're just I know you got a shit job, not my fault, not my fault, right?
Yeah.
The aggression, the anger, they're going, they can absolutely get in the sea. The laptop aerosol police, they're
Yeah.
like they're failed police, and they're like, oh well, I'll just check X-rays at the airport. You can have them,
Yep.
and then this rushing at the gate to line
Yeah.
up and get on the plane, like they're going to go without you at the gate.
You wouldn't need that anyway. You'd be first on the plane, priority sort of 1A operation,
I
wouldn't you?
was down the front end, yeah. It
Yeah.
was a big giveaway. I kept that low key.
Yeah.
I was down the nice end of the plane, but when I had Wi-Fi for 9 hours, people started to be like, "Well, you ain't at the back. You only get Wi-Fi
Yeah.
at the front." It was a great
Boy.
experience. Great experience. But yeah, no, you can have air. People need to pull their head in at airports. They're absolutely they're doing me. Everyone flies. You're not important. Just shut up and get on your flight.
Love it. Right, let's have a look at some runners. We'll let you go because obviously there's no
Don't
Pepsi
wind me
Max.
up, all right?
There's
I
no
was going to
Pepsi
have.
Max in Hong Kong, and it's got you wild.
There's not a can of Pepsi Max on this entire island. I think that's half why I got the shits. I had the shakes. I got withdrawals.
Oh wow! Wait. Canadian Express, Queen of Drama, so graceful. Can we see any of those going around at Canberra tomorrow?
No, none of them are going. They've drawn poorly. They're not the right races, and I don't really think any of those can go down there and win. So they can stay at home, and they'll head to Newcastle on Saturday.
Yep, that was a test. We already knew that. Rosehill, Desert Voice, more than likely going around. Blake Spriggs booked. Maybe a nice positive ride. Thoughts on that horse?
Yeah, I like her. I was disappointed in the last run, but she was slow away at Newcastle where you had to be up on the speed. Draws a bit better. Spriggsy will ride her the way we want her ridden, and
Yep.
I think she'll be a big improver. I think she's up to midweek, Friday night, midway level. It's hard. Sometimes these Europeans, they take racing to really start finding form, but she will. Got full faith in her. She's a nice mare.
Cream Rises also in Newcastle. We see him in Newey.
Yeah, we'll go to Newcastle. Much more winnable race.
Should win. Brazil, very winnable race. Spoke with Mossy this morning on his late mail podcast, and I think he's a huge chance. 800 meters is ideal. Get probably not the best map of all time, but he'll get his chance. He won't be in and behind them like Newcastle.
That's the only thing with him is he gets back and he gets wide and he gets a bit dictated to by the rest of the field. But the great thing about him is if they bunch up and walk, you'd think being a back marker, it puts him under a bit of pressure. But he's got a ripping turn of foot, so it almost does a little bit opposite with him. Is that I'd prefer them to absolutely walk and him be last. If they run along and they've got really good speed and they just half have him off the bridle and then they sprint at the corner, that's probably what can bring him undone. And Rosehill's a funny track. Like it's big and it's wide and it's a long straight, but it's actually quite hard to make ground there. But over the 1800, you tend to get every chance, and that's probably a bit more over the shorter trips. And this is a race that we targeted for him a long, long time ago. Spriggsy knows him really well. The Tricolours team are steaming. It wouldn't be a Metro Saturday without them punching home a winner at the moment. But yeah, it's just great. He's such a cool horse. He's such a great story in regards to the whole stable and the team that have all really played their role in. And I was talking to Mossy during the week, and I said, I've never had a horse be so unruly and such a bastard and be so difficult to train. I've never had one come as far as what he's come to our side. So we just love him. We idolise him. He's won a Class 1 at Kembla last start. We get around like he's a Group 2 horse, but yeah, some horses just mean a lot, and he does. He means a lot to everyone at the stables.
Yeah, certainly does. Newcastle, Queen of Drama, Big G, the other G, the little G we should call him because he's a bit smaller. He was pretty keen on this horse, and she's been going very well at home.
Yeah, whether she'll just need one and get out to a mile, but no, I thought she's been working quite well, and it's not going to take her long to win a maiden.
Going well. Canadian Express, that's similar sort of boat for in the Class 1.
Yeah, he's just a horse that he just seems to run the same race no matter where we find him, So good money, he gets a good senior, and if he can just find that length, he's in the thick of things.
Cream Rises, Aaron Bullock. Astute work there. That's astute work there.
Yeah, that's the Patriot boys and our good man Ryan, our jockey booking extraordinaire.
Yeah.
He's worth his weight in gold in Ryan. I don't have to talk to any jockey managers or any jockeys or anything. He just cops the bullet left, right, and centre for him. So worth his weight in gold. But yeah, he was shockingly unlucky the other day. Probably 7's not bad. He's drawn a little bit wide. He's not going to get held up. Right race, good gap between runs. big track Newcastle. So yeah, no, he looks a great chance.
No horses under more pressure than Los Padres. I'm up here with the boys at the moment. Some of the owners of Los Padres, and they said, "Oh, he didn't go that well last start." I'm like, it's obviously A, you don't read the reports, and B, you just got to have faith. Horse is flying.
Horse is going great. His first up run was great. Should have won a midway. And then he's just been completely luckless. So drops back to the provincials from a couple of midway runs. I like it a lot. Zipperless will come out of that race from a really wide barrier, but he's run really well. His 2 Newcastle runs have been enormous. Either of those will win this race, and he's just due for a bit of luck, and he should get it.
Of that staking plan, I'm going to give you $100 just because we're going to settle back down, head back to our roots. $100.
Yeah, well,
I can't be in Hong Kong.
No, I'll have 50 on Brazil. And I'll probably have I'll have 25 on Cream Risers and 25 on I'll have a $50 double Cream Risers and Los Padres.
There he is. I'm gonna have a $75 place all up on Los Padres, Cream Risers, and Brazil, and a $25 win all up. The 3 of them we're due a winner, and we'll probably have a 3.
If I text George, and I said, mate, one more second.
Yeah.
And these will be in your name next week. I said it's going to be a very quick introduction to the New South Wales trainers ranks. I said, because I actually can't handle running another set. I've actually been cheering them to run third just to mix it up a little bit. Yeah.
Good theory.
But that's a hard thing when they're running well and you're running second. Like, what about Old Gregg? He's had the most, to be beat in. It was like I felt like Bill Murray in Groundhog Day, where I just got up and it was happening all over again.
It was unbelievable to be beaten in that fashion again.
And like Spriggsy's produced 2 of the greatest rides. The horse himself has run a career best twice in a fortnight. And to be beaten, and if that cameraman had a cut back to Old Gregg one more time, I'm going to email Sky and get his name and just I'm going to meet him on the street someday and say, mate, you ever do that to me again? You ever just keep cutting back to? It was almost he'd almost videoed him in the wash bay and getting back on the truck to come back to Kembla by the time they put up the result. Didn't take the lens off him, and he's run second. There should be some fund where you get a payout if that happens.
Yeah, we'll start a GoFundMe for your mental health. That'll probably halfway there. You better ship out. Old Gregg can't get a win. You're finding airports hard to deal with. You can't get Pepsi Max. Hopefully things turn around for you. Hey, Beery, that's a beer and a bet. Enjoy the rest of your Hong Kong trip. We'll be back next week.
Hey, and anyone in Hong Kong, we ran into some big podcast fans at Happy Valley. Yeah, I know. No. I wouldn't make this up because I just wouldn't. I'm not that sort of guy.
Yeah.
But had some great podcast feedback. So I had a few Singtowns. I don't remember your name, but for the crew that came up and said they loved the podcast at the races last night, I said I'd give them a shout out, but I couldn't even tell them what they looked like.
Sounds like having a blast. Well, thanks for watching, and that'll boost our numbers in Asia. So watch out. We'll be back bigger, better, stronger. Bye for now.
Legends.